Now, as you know, it is very tumultuous times that are going on right now. And, some of you people say, all I got to just escape from this cruel, crazy world out there, Martin Thomas, Christopher Herman. All I got are my movies I'm looking forward to.
What was that?
I think that was a rifle.
Come on, everybody get out of here! Jesus, come on!
Only good thing to come out of it is I heard he hung himself with a shirt from dtmerch.com.
Just tie them together.
Just tie him up together.
He's a billionaire. He could order that many. A different shirt for each one.
He ordered so much merch that he tied it all together. Just hung himself with that toasty goodness.
Did he buy all the Oz shirts?
It's that classic black tee with the white logo. Got the neon logo. And you know what? You know the rest of the items there. Concluding with the gift of choice. I like that movie, The Hunt. Boy, that looks like a great action thriller right there, man. When that movie comes out, my life is going to be so much better. Well, too bad, because it ain't coming. I'm sorry. They even got you there. They denying your movies now. The movie just, Universal said, with all these things that are happening right now, these movies just got too many guns. That's what they, it's funny because that's what they say. It's like, man, we got to do something about these guns. Let's ban that film.
Well, that should fix everything.
That should fix everything. Well, we removed the movie guns. so everybody should feel safe now. Hey, who feels safe? You feel safe? No. You feel safe?
Man, you feel safe. Come on.
Hey, you feel safe? No. Get a gun. How about you?
I'm so upset. I'll just go shoot my real guns that I have.
Yeah. That's right. You took my movie guns away. Now I have no choice but to go out there and fire my real guns. How could you do this to me?
Yeah, how they going to strip the guns out of this but release Hobbs and Shaw?
Well, for one, everybody knows that shit is just ridiculous. Yeah. Like, Hobbs and Shaw is a cartoon, man. But, in light of, again, all the violence that we've seen today, Universal has pulled the release of this movie, The Hunt. We're going to talk about all the feelings around that. Is it even worth the controversy? Is it something that why are people upset on both sides? Is it something that and is it something that is just, as we say, it's never helping anything. So why do this in the first place? Tell you what, let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer.
Every year, a bunch of elites kidnap normal folk like us. Where'd they get you from? Wyoming.
Mississippi.
Orlando. And hunt us for sport. Hurry, hurry.
No one is happy with this at all as far as this being pulled from theaters from the release date. This is supposed to be released on September 27th. Okay. I think that's what they said. And so with all this happening, they were like, yeah, well, we don't think people are really in the mood to see this right now. People are already kind of on edge about, the kind of violence that they're seeing in this trailer. So I think that, that what they want to do is they want to be respectful. And that's what I'm saying. They feel like the movie's disrespectful to current events right now, and others say that it's just a deflection to distract us from the real problems that are out there.
Okay, so if John Wick 3 hadn't been released already and was about to be released this weekend, do you think they would pull it?
Yeah, I do. Okay, let me just say this. It depends on the studio because nobody's requiring Universal to do this. Nobody's made Universal do this.
Right.
Lionsgate, on the other hand, I really don't know. You sound like you have something to say.
I don't think if this was John Wick that was going to be released, I don't think they would pull it.
I don't think
it
so
also depends on the perception of this film, how some people think what it actually is. When you have like Fox News running segments of this saying this is about, the elite liberals hunting the deplorables, Trump supporters, and they have that message repeating over and over again. Whether the trailer indicates that or not, I personally don't think it does. That's not what I read when I saw it. Or when you have President Trump getting on his Twitter, saying that the movie, couldn't even remember the goddamn title of it was because he just saw it on Fox and Friends a few hours earlier, promoting promoting that kind of thing. It's that perception, and they don't want to just deal with something
Yeah.
like that. And then, they're not going to release it right now, but they'll stealth release in a couple months.
But see, that's the I see with John Wick, I could see them not putting it out at that time. I can't. I see them releasing it later. Like much like sooner than later. I think because it's all about timing. We just showed John Wick. Of course, he brought the video game Wolfenstein Youngblood. So there's a lot of guns in here and everything. So yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
You squished that guy's head.
No, I think they definitely would have pulled this that this happened. Yeah, because it's a matter. It's all timing. It's how long you pull it, that depends on the studio. But yeah, I think they would have pulled it because, and I'll tell you why. It's not because I don't think they would have pulled it because of like for John Wick. I don't think they would have pulled it because of any kind of real genuine sentiment there. I think that the reason why I think they would have pulled it is because exactly what you're saying. It's a franchise. They don't want anything to like taint it. They don't want anything to come in and tarnish it. So, they're going to. It's good business. It gives good. It just looks good to the public if you pull something and say, "Oh, look, we know how y'all feel, and we just want you to know we right there with you. So we're not gonna fire these guns for another 24 hours." It's all bullshit, man. I mean, those things, John Wick and Wolfenstein, they had the benefit of not being released during a tragedy. If something is set to be released and then a tragedy hits, they're screwed for a little while. Or they gotta do something. They gotta work around. They gotta figure out a way to like let the public know that we are thinking about you and praying with you and all that kind of dumb shit. But give it time, and it returns. Yeah, some form or another, it returns.
Well, this makes me wonder if with violent action films, if they're going to build that into their business model, where okay, it's going to be released on this day, asterisk.
Yeah.
Unless there's a tragedy.
Right.
As these things, these tragedies, these kind of shootings keep happening more and more.
Well, I also think that movies are prepared for anything. Like, they shift stuff all the time. Today, it's not just for tragedies either. I mean, you see more stuff that's being pulled from the theater and then it's put onto Netflix. Mowgli was dropped by Warner Brothers. It was given to Netflix. The Little Prince, an animated film, was given to Netflix after they didn't think it could go to theaters. It's done that well with a few things. So I think that's just part of the business plan. So now it's, they'll say, okay, if there's a mass shooting or a tragedy, we got to move this, this shit too. Even if from a business move, that shows, some good faith for people. At least you're thinking about people, because there's some people who have no clue at all. Like we just had Trump give a thumbs up next to an orphan. That's so I mean, people. It just goes to show, today it's so crazy that it's even a good thing, even if you're doing it for business to pull something, release it later, whatever. Does it fix anything? No.
Honestly, I kind of disagree. I think that's just. That's not really helping the problem at hand.
Well, that's what I said. It doesn't fix anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's just you're just kind of you're emboldening the people that have that criticism against you, saying that your film is perceived as this way, whether it's violent or in the case of The Hunt, that it's trying to promote a political agenda, which is the whole thing. What Fox News was talking
I didn't know
about.
That with Fox.
That was it. But the thing is, you wouldn't even guess that by watching the trailer. It's just it's Battle Royale. It's just it's another iteration of that, or in The Most Dangerous Game, the classic novella. In this case, you had a segment of the population that now believes this, and you're just emboldening and making them believe it. And then they're going to say, see? And this is you're just saying that now Hollywood is racist against like conservatives or Republicans. And that's what's making it worse. And that's what's really frustrating now.
I don't want to buy into that theory at all. I mean, with the Fox News theory.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things when those people who are being hunted listed off where they're from. They were all from red states.
Well, it didn't help that this movie already had a little bit of a controversy before going in. That's another reason why I think they pushed it back. Because people are already talking about it before this stuff kind of happened. Yeah. It came out, and listen, I have to look at the trailer because I watched it last night again when I was trying to find something to do for the show today because I thought we were going to do this, and there was already controversy that said that this was showing proof that Hollywood hates conservatives, and like. He was saying Fox News is already kind of jumping on this. Yeah. And
the president was jumping on it.
Yeah.
Even though he couldn't remember the name of it.
And you know what? And even that's arguable because, I mean, we've seen recent things that can probably counter that. Armie Hammer just came out talking about, you know, while everybody's trying to boycott these exercise places, what y'all gonna do about Ike Perlmutter? How you feel about him donating to Trump's campaign? You know, look, I'm not getting into political discussion with that. I'm just saying that just goes to show you that there's, you know, this. It can be argued like, all right, Hollywood maybe not all Hollywood hates conservatives as much as you think. I mean, you got like right after some of this stuff happened, John Voight came out with his crazy ass.
No, he's crazy.
He's insane, man. He came out already talking, just came straight out and just said, you know what, fellow Americans, like he's a president. Like seriously, like this fool came out like he was the president. My fellow Americans, I hear this talk about racism and I'm not lying, Marty said, and I just want you to know we took care of that a long time ago.
My fellow Americans, too many are angered at the words of racism, but this has been solved long ago by our forefathers.
Solved, yeah.
Forefathers?
We made them slaves.
Yeah.
That solved the problem. We got to worry about them no more.
He pretty much said, we set you niggas free. Problem solved. I mean, what do you want?
Well, the other thing is like forefathers means like George Washington.
Yeah,
Like,
he
out of
doesn't
the country. He's getting all mixed up.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. No wonder Brad Pitt divorced Angelina Jolie. He didn't want to deal with his crazy ass. Don't let your father back over here around my kids. I'm leaving.
Well, that was a thing. I saw an interview with him where they caught him and say, Angelina Jolie's your daughter. You get to see her and the kids much? And he's all like, no, they don't have me over. I really wish they would. Sweetheart, I'd love to come and see my grandkids. If you could make it. It was just like, man, this is sad and telling.
Yeah. They don't want his crazy ass around.
Exactly. Chris, you're right. He brings up the Civil War and he's talking about forefathers. It's like, dude, two different time periods.
He doesn't know.
He
doesn't know what he's talking about. He's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's just ill. Yeah.
But this has been solved long ago by our forefathers.
Okay.
See,
when George Washington and Abraham Lincoln teamed up to take down the British, the Confederates came in. Those are true heroes, the Confederates. Let me tell you about the Confederacy.
That's
Good
when
old
you know
boys.
that like that his mind ain't right because now he's just telling everything that he really feels.
Yeah.
He just said our forefathers put you Negroes in chains. We took care of this a long time ago. The real problem is y'all running the streets free. Yeah, so you got some of these films they say that are targeting like this with these conservatives and whatnot. I don't know if they actually work out like they're thinking, because there's been some movies that are out there, like I said, some people saw them as targeting conservatives, and with this, if you look at this, it was that's what people are seeing, and the trailer's kind of giving that feeling that I look at it. It's the liberal elites hunting down these conservatives.
Yeah, but it looks like the conservatives are the heroes.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, it looks like the liberals are the bad people, and the conservatives are the ones that you are like. They actually got me kind of rooting for Trump voters right here.
Right.
Like the only reason why they ain't wearing red hats is because it makes them a target. But because when I look at it as a liberal elites going out and attacking the conservatives, which I think would be an interesting premise. I don't know, because I don't know where it would go. I'm kind of curious to see what they would do with it. But looking at that, it kind of looks like the opposite of this movie.
This is your emergency broadcast system.
Someone betrayed us. This is not a drill.
This is the Purge election year, I think. I like a lot of these Purge movies. I didn't like the last one too much, and the first one I wasn't crazy about. But this this movie right here, The Hunt, looks like the opposite of the Purge. The Purge was a bunch of conservative white men who pretty much exploited the poor and minorities to like just go in and have this purge day, which again, it was the people who can't afford protection are the ones that are suffering the most. Looking at this, it looks like we were saying, looks like the kind of opposite of that, where and this time around it's the conservatives that are being hunted by the liberal elites for who look at them as, because I heard one time they called them deplorables in the trailer. So that's why I kind of see it as a sad thing that this is not getting released.
Well, it's funny that it would not get released because of the outcry of the people that it's actually for.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's like they like the idea of hunting, the poor people, all the different minorities, but we don't want to be the hunted people. We don't mind hunting you. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I think you're getting your movies mixed up. They should just watch more movies. Why don't you watch? Here's a novel idea. See the film before you start criticizing it, and then we can have a conversation.
Yeah,
How about that?
Yeah, because there's a slight hypocrisy in the sense of nobody had anything to say about the Purge, but once those key words were mentioned, like deplorables, elitist, and things like that, all of a sudden Fox News is on it.
Got triggered.
Yeah, a little triggered right there. Even though the liberals look like the villains and the conservatives look like the heroes. Nobody, because I read I didn't read. I was yesterday. I told you I came in. I had on a don't ask why. Long story. I had on a Christian music station in my car.
Okay.
And as I was driving up to the studio yesterday, before I got in here, they were talking about how this movie was so irresponsible and childish, and how it's entertainment like this corrupts people. And I'm thinking, you haven't even seen the movie.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's about, and because I look at this and I'm thinking, it couldn't, say it was political. Say it was, say it was political on either side. Maybe it's about class. Maybe it's about income inequality.
Because we even see like different ethnic groups. It looks like down there,
Yeah.
like they're being herded into all these different tents and things. Maybe they're being checked out and then to be released in these arenas for people to hunt.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be just class.
It could be, it could be class. I don't know. I really don't want to say anything until I see the movie. But I will say this. So what if it is political? What if it's something that it did? I go in there and saw the liberals as being the villains. I don't know. Maybe that would give me something to think about when I walked out. Maybe there's a message there that below the surface that I would like to explore further.
Yeah.
But Blumhouse, man, is putting out. They're giving us some of the smartest entertainment out there in this. Pretty much in this empty, blockbuster-fueled age of cinema.
Yeah.
Where that's taken over the theaters. Blumhouse has actually managed to give us really smart movies that are also crowd pleasers.
Yeah.
A lot of these movies manage to go in and they give you, thrills, they give you scares, they give you, a lot of exciting entertainment. At the same time, they've been some of the biggest and best social message movies that we've had. And I remember, man, when we saw and it's the same, that's why I think about this movie, The Hunt, because it doesn't look really great at first. But that's the same thing I thought about Get Out. We laughed our ass off at that. We would say, this looks crazy.
Do you smoke in front of my daughter?
I'm gonna quit.
She'd take care of that for you.
How?
Hypnosis.
Bro, how you not scared of this, man?
Man, we thought that this was a parody. We thought we said, what is this that we're looking at? And it ended up being a great social commentary film, man. Or maybe there's just no message to the movie at all. Maybe we should see. Because even then, we might be jumping to conclusions without seeing this film. It might be nothing there at all.
That happens often, especially with Fox News reporting on something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
As
a reputation for doing that for everything. Video games, movies, comics, TV shows.
Well, as we were saying, I mean, if nothing else, it looks like it could just be an adaptation of The Most Dangerous Game, that Richard Connell
the novella.
book.
Not really, though.
But it has the same.
It's inspired
thing.
by.
Inspired.
all Battle Royale. I mean, it all goes back to that original novella, and then they all do their different.
Because they
variations.
made many adaptations of that book alone. They had one back in 1932.
Men from ships, drive them out to be hunted. And if one eludes me only till sunrise, he wins the game. You murdering rat! I'm a hunter, not an assassin. We can keep ahead of them that.
Don't get your ass.
He's got an evil goatee.
Yeah, he got great.
Got that evil goatee. Got them evil ass eyes. I'm gonna get you.
Staring.
Yeah, man. If you don't know what the book is, it's actually it's an old theme, man. You've seen many different variations of it. It's where people get tired of hunting animals and they get together to hunt a human. I mean, the last one that I remember that was the most memorable version of that, and I don't even think it was a good movie. This is one where, you remember the 1994 Surviving the Game?
Yeah,
with Ice-T.
I've never seen this.
Yeah. I think I saw it on HBO.
Yeah, that's where it belongs, probably. Okay, full disclosure, I've never seen the movie, but it looks crazy. I should actually maybe do this on a bad movie day. Ice-T plays a homeless dude who gets picked up by a bunch of a bunch of, and not what you think, not a bunch of old white guys. It's like just a different group of guys. They got money. They pick him up off the streets because he's homeless. No one's gonna miss him, and they decide to hunt him down.
None of them has ever done that before. Mr. Mason. What's that smell?
Everybody out of the cabin!
Try well done, bitch.
I know you're kind of selling me out now. Gary Busey hunting me.
Gary
That's
Busey,
exciting. That's very exciting.
And that was, oh, go ahead.
No, that's when he came out. He said, "I like my meat raw." I used to like, "I like it well done, bitch." It's like, "Well, you gonna eat Gary Busey?" I don't think that this pull is gonna be permanent at what they're doing, and that's what we're talking about, because they're talking about indefinitely. They're talking about how they're gonna, we don't know when this is gonna go out. This is not the right movie for this time. Look, I don't think Hollywood and and studios like Universal, they ain't out to lose money. They ain't. No, they didn't. They might want to do the right thing, but not when it's gonna cost them.
Right.
And I bet that this film was cheap to make because it's Blumhouse, and they make everything for like what, $5,000?
Yeah, $5,000. Oh, that's way too much.
$5, excuse me.
Yeah, actors got to pay them to be in the movie.
And you know what? This movie comes out like in like a month on a streaming service, and they promote the fact that it's coming on a streaming service. Everyone's going to want to watch it because all the controversy. Even if they don't promote it, they send out a press release. It's like, yeah, this movie's going to be released this month.
Yeah, it's like they go the way of the interview.
Yep, exactly.
Everybody pees and poos. Where would he go otherwise? He'd explode.
But he does talk to dolphins.
This wasn't that great of a movie, but it had some marketing behind it as the movie that North Korea doesn't want anybody to see.
Sony for
it was a movie where they dubbed it, where they pretty much said Seth Rogen is a terrorist. He's too high to blow up anything, so he just made a movie. But yeah, they said it was terrorism. They pulled the movie from the theaters because, for one, they said that North Korea says this act of terrorism, and some people say it is, but not the way you think. Terrorizing our senses and terrorizing comedy.
Good taste, terrorizing good taste.
Yeah, but they said if some people were afraid, especially in malls, that there'll be some kind of retaliation.
Right.
So they pulled it. But then you had people like the Alamo saying, we're going to show this free for a day. This was marketed as the movie that you couldn't see in the theater, now on Netflix. It was a big boost for Netflix. Pulling, that's another thing. That's why I say, that was a point. I got it written down right here. Like, pulling something. Like, if you ask me what they pulled John Wick being as popular as it is, and people saying, you mean I can't have my Wick when I want it right now? And they make you wait? This would not go to Netflix. They would put that back in the theater.
Oh yeah,
people would show up and probably give more money to this with the marketing boost that they have.
You should come out and support John Wick.
Yeah,
stick it to him. He'll make even more money.
Yeah, sometimes pulling something, again, like I said, it's just good business to show some sensitivity to people while also getting.
Because here at Universal, we care.
Yeah, about money.
You're not supposed to read that.
It's a good gesture to do, and it's a good business boost that way, but it's great marketing too.
Well, I'm used to them doing that with movies where you look at them and you go like, well, this would have failed anyway. This is just a way to get some eyes on it.
Yeah.
But this looks like it would have done decently on its own.
Yeah, it's got a good cast in there. They're gonna get a boost. They are not just putting this in the vault. They're not burying this. They're not putting this in a chest and throwing it into the sea. This will be back. Yeah, yeah. This is gonna come out there, and now it's got the notoriety behind it of the movie that they had to pull because of the tumultuous times that we were in.
Because Trump hated it.
And now,
that's
another thing.
That's what you're gonna. You sell it like that.
Yeah. To conclude this segment here, man, this has been done. This has been done over and over again. This is nothing new. This is, we're talking about how, I was talking like this is a cynical turn of events for cinema. That is not the case. This is standard procedure.
Yeah.
This is nothing new at all, man. It is pretty much protocol to pull a movie if it's too associated with a national tragedy. This goes back all the way. Who knows how far? One of the earliest ones I remember is in the 60s with Dr. Strangelove.
I shouldn't tell you this, Mandrake, but you're a good officer and you have a right to know.
I don't like the look of this, Fred. I tell you what you better do, buddy.
When people wore their pants up to their stomachs
right
back
to his navel, yeah.
Going on, know.
Don't want to show that gut, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, man. But this movie, this is a Stanley Kubrick's classic, man. This movie had to be pulled because this came out in 1963. Now, what other big event happened in 1963?
Was that the Bay of Pigs?
No. What are you gonna say?
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
Kennedy assassination.
Oh, that's right.
Wow.
63.
That was coming out. This was supposed to come out on November 11th, 1963. And the day that it came out, that day Kennedy was assassinated. They had to go in there and yank. They had to run the theater. Stop! Cut this shit off. Y'all didn't see nothing. They had to pull this out the theaters at the time.
Yeah.
Of course, it got released and went on to and went on to be considered a masterpiece. But at the time, they said, man, we can't release a movie about nuclear war after Kennedy and the Bay of Pigs and everything. Yeah. And he's assassinated on this day. And they also had dialogue in there that referenced Dallas. Yeah, it was a shitstorm for them. They had to change the Dallas to Vegas. So yeah, that's nothing new, man. The same thing with movies that you don't even care about, movies you don't even remember. Like, anybody remember Gangster Squad?
Yeah.
Trying to take me away from all this and make an honest woman out of me?
No, ma'am. I was just hoping to take you to bed.
You're a cop.
Not anymore.
Was that him or was that the song? This movie, they had to pull it because it was supposed to come out on September of 2012. But there was a scene in there where there was a bunch of mob guys shooting up a theater, so they had to move it to January 2013. Movie never had a chance. 2 shitty months.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this they were trying to bury this film, man. They were trying to pull a hit on this film. So yeah, that one didn't do too well. You remember what's
You know the drill. Right before killing somebody with a giant drill.
Did they?
Yeah, that's in there.
Jesus. Wow. I blocked a lot of that out, so it's hard to remember.
It was Schwarzenegger in this movie.
It was Sean Penn as Mickey Cohen who does it.
Screw you.
Boy, you know the drill.
Oh, that's right, with Sean Penn. Yes. Yeah. Oh, Jesus, man. Yeah, they were trying to bury this film, man. But they had a decent one, an okay one that came out, man. And this one had to be moved because of 2 things that happened. Like, they moved and they hit 2 tragedies, man.
Feel it, Stu.
Did you call me Stu? Who is this?
Someone who enjoys watching you. Look at all of the people, Stu.
He's the shooter. I've seen him.
That is Phone Booth.
Right.
Phone Booth, that was supposed to come out. That's supposed to come out in 2001. It had to be delayed because of 9/11, and so then they moved it to November 15th of 2002. And then the DC shooters started going out there, and they're like, "Jesus, man, we could have stuck with 9/11." At least that was.
It had nothing to do with
that.
planes,
That was at least that was a little more vague. Yeah. And so then over a year later, it finally got released in April of 2003. But yeah, that thing hit 2 tragedies, man.
Yeah, the other tragedy was its third act.
Yeah. It all comes back around to this movie, The Hunt. As you can see, man, this is not even anything. I mean, sometimes the reasons behind it, you can examine those and say, that's kind of shady. You can sit up here and have them tell you, like, oh, this is never going to come out. This movie is it's too hardcore for the people out there, especially how sensitive they are now. Don't believe that, man. This is normal. What they're doing. It's part of their business. All these movies get released at some point. The only time they don't get released is if they were in mid-production and they pull it. Yeah. There was a movie called, I forgot what it was, Jackie Chan and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really?
Oh, the one in China.
Was that? No, because this one was about, they were doing something in the Twin Towers. And in the middle of it, Nosebleed is what it was called. Wow. No one's heard of it because it never got released. Okay. Because it never got finished. Okay. I didn't even think it ever got heavy into production. But when they were getting ready to go into production, or they were early into production, and they were doing stuff about the Twin Towers, of course, 9/11 happened, so they just pulled it. They just said, all right, no more production on this. So yeah, people, you'll see this movie. Settle your ass down. You'll have to be fine. Yeah. You know what? Probably won't even be that great. All this trouble.
I know.
Or it might be. We'll see. Thanks for watching, everybody. hit the subscribe button. I want to spend all my time with you. Get notifications from us so you know when we're coming after you. And if you really like what we do, put us at our store at dtmerch.com. And remember to always stay posted.